What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the NCU channel. I am Noel, back at it again with another great video for you all. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about Venom 3. I know, right? Venom 3 hasn't even been announced. We haven't gotten a teaser trailer. We don't even know who the next villain is. But that's kind of what I want to speculate, and I would love for you all to come along on the ride with me. But if you guys do not mind, please hit the like button, share this with your friends, and also hit that notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the page as well. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, we already know 2023 so far has been the year of Spider-Man. Like we had Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse come out recently, about a couple months ago. We have Kraven and Spider-Man PS5 2, or Spider-Man 2 PS5, coming later on this year. And with everything going on, looking at the fact that not only are we getting a Kraven movie, but we're having Venom in the game, and we're getting Black Suit Peter Parker, it had me thinking and wondering. I'm talking with a couple of my friends at school and wondering where Sony is going with their Spider-Man cinematic universe. Now, we already seen and we know what they have so far. Spider-Man wise, we don't have, a Spider-Man for the Sony universe. Last Sony, official full-on Sony Spider-Man we got was Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man. And in the last video, of course, I speculated on the fact that with Kraven and Rhino being in the next Kraven film, and us, of course, being introduced to Kraven, it had me wondering which, of course, Spider-Man would be able to take on that Sinister Six. Who would be a part of that Sinister Six? But also it has me thinking now, especially with the eyes, of course, being about Venom and the fact that the symbiote suit is there. What's going on with Venom 3? Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. Who cares? And personally, the Venom movies were okay to me. Were they the best? No. Did they have some good moments? Yes. But they weren't, the craziest of craziest things. And when it comes to Sony, we have slated films that are rumored to be released within the next coming years. We have Silk, we have Black Cat, we have Madam Web, and of course Venom 3 is within that mix. Now, looking at track records, not just Sony's, but just kind of the superhero-esque track record, and also something that I realized, which also made me think of this theory when it comes to this video, the fact that I follow this guy named Classic Man D. You should check him out. He was doing a video based on, a short based on how a lot of, superhero movies have same versus same, meaning superhero fights a villain and both of them have roughly around the same powers. That way it's more so about whose skill is better. And do I think that Sony's gonna go same versus same with Venom? I mean, we already got Riot in Venom 1 and we got Carnage in Venom 2. Who else could we theoretically get? And as I was going through Venom's rogues gallery, I was looking at things and thinking there's not too many that I think people would just be full on interested in. And when I say that, I'm not saying that a lot of the other villains or a lot of the other symbiotes are just, lame, washed, we don't care. That's definitely not where I'm getting at with it. But more so, I'm thinking of the aspect of we have people such as Toxin, which I don't think a lot of people not necessarily know, and I don't know how interested they would be in just seeing Toxin per se. And if we're going big hitters, we have Null, which of course is the god of the symbiotes, but at the same point in time, I don't see Sony pulling the trigger on Null. The reason why I don't see the Sony pulling the trigger on Null is because we have the symbiote in the MCU. For those who don't know, spoilers, at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, No Way Home, when all of the Sony verse characters such as Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Electro, Sandman, when all of them got sent back to their universe alongside Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Tom Hardy's Venom got sent back as well. However, a piece of the symbiote stayed within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And, of course, we're like, oh my gosh, as fans, Black Suit Spider-Man, Black Suit Tom Holland. And we're speculating that if they're going to follow comics, that in 2026, since the movie got pushed back, that in Secret Wars, we're going to see Black Suit Spider-Man within that movie. Now, do I think Venom is going to wait up until that happens to get, their third installment in their franchise? No, not necessarily. If they do go that route, then that just means Venom 3 is going to most likely have Tom Holland's Spider-Man in it, and there's going to be a fight between those two. But then, of course, considering how they would want things to go, considering that Riot and Carnage died within the Sony films, there's only two ways this can go. This can go just the same route. Well, most likely it'll go the same route as King Kong versus Godzilla, where we see that they fight almost to a stalemate, and then boom, there's this other overarching villain, and now they team up to work together. Do I see that happening? I mean, it's a possibility. Sony still technically has the rights and still can use Tom Holland's Spider-Man if they so choose. But nevertheless, I still don't see that happening. Only because, especially Tom Holland and Marvel have confirmed that there will be a Spider-Man 4. It's just a little, I wouldn't say too soon, but I don't know how they would really truly incorporate that, because you have to, at that point, send Tom Holland to the Sony universe. Don't know how long he'll be there for, because it's not like once he gets to the Sony universe, he's going to be there and done, which, again, does not lead me to believing that Tom Holland will be there. And, of course, like I brought up with the Nose situation, with them, especially in Eternals, which is another movie that people have mixed reviews about, but, of course, they brought up the Ebony Blade, and in Thor Love and Thunder, you had the Necro Sword, a sword that is synonymous with Null. Now, if we so choose to go the Tom Holland route, then at some point, Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and Tom Holland's Spider-Man will eventually get back to the MCU, and they could lead up into a Null situation. However, if they go that route, then you're kind of diluting and just disregarding Kang the Conqueror, potentially Galactus, potentially Doctor Doom, and that'll be weird, tricky, per se. So, where am I going at with this? Well, Noel, who is the other villain that could be for Venom 3? And personally, I think it's Anti-Venom. Now, before people, of course, as a comic book, not purist, I would fully say, because I'm okay with some changes here and there. I was perfectly fine with how Marvel and Disney portrayed Thanos, because if you didn't know, if they went completely comic book based on Thanos in the MCU, nobody would like him that much, because he wanted to snap half the universe away because he wanted some booty from Lady Death. Let's be completely honest. But nevertheless, This is the reason why I feel like it could and should per se be anti-venom. Yes, you do get into that aspect of same versus same. But also when you look at Venom 1 and Venom 2, you realize that, hey, both of them, as they say, they're losers. Nobody really is messing with them. Nobody likes them per se. And they're just these outcasts that are trying to be a hero. They already had the full breakup where Venom went on his own and Eddie went back on his own. And then once Carnage got brought into the picture, they came and reunited. Then, boom, save the day. But what happens if you introduce a threat, especially like anti-venom, where as anti-venom is actually, portrayed and actually how he is written, he's basically a cure. Even if you want to throw a Spider-Man in there and have that go into that Kong vs. Godzilla type theme that I brought up, where you have Spider-Man versus Venom and then anti-venom pops up. You bring it into a situation where anti-venom can negate and basically cure powers. Like when you look at what happens with Spider-Man, he can nullify his spider sense. He can basically cure him of what his powers and abilities are. So why not use him? Why not have it where, which could possibly happen and which probably will happen if you want to explain. Because anti-venom is also Eddie Brock, but unless you want to go into an aspect of where you say Eddie Brock, well, there's two ways you can go about it. Actually, just thought about it. You can go with option A. The Venom symbiote is still killing Eddie. Like, Eddie is sick. The Venom symbiote is not helping him, and with all the food he's eating, it's just like messing up his system. Somebody experiments on the Venom symbiote. He becomes anti-venom, but a part of the actual original Venom symbiote is detached. So that way you still keep that venom and you also still have anti-venom. And then, of course, there's a big fight between those two. And you have, a sacrifice, which most likely that's how they'll probably close off the Sony verse for Venom, at least, where the Venom symbiote sacrifices himself against whatever villain. But for this conversation, anti-venom. And boom. There's just everything in that light. Like, he sacrifices himself just to save Eddie Brock, and Eddie Brock is cured, happy ended. Or you go with option 2, where Eddie and Venom are just casually doing their thing, and somebody who was connected to Riot or connected to somebody else is literally sitting there, and they're just so mad that Venom did all of this, and they're like, you know what? We're going to find a way to fight back, or we're going to defeat you all. How do you do that? You create a symbiote that literally negates the other symbiote. You create anti-venom for Venom. Don't know who you'll have as the host of anti-venom, but whatever you do, that's how it goes. And I still believe it'll end up in a sacrifice. Nevertheless, this was, of course, just a theory, something I was thinking about because I don't know where Sony is going with their projects. We don't know what's going on. And, of course, with the writing strike, it got me thinking of a lot of different stories that a lot of different studios could look at doing and look at portraying. But, of course, that's just my thoughts. What do you all think? Do you think Anti-Venom will be in Venom 3? Do you think there will be another villain in Venom 3? And what do you think is going to happen when it comes to the Sony Spider-Man universe? Please drop it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn that notification bell. Without further ado, thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all on the next one.